Welcome to another video in the series, and today we are going to explore Web Application Firewall. Alright, so we've been talking about Application Gateway, and this is one of the features that we should understand in a little more detail. So what is WAF or Web Application Firewall? Well, it's exactly like if you have, let's suppose, a store where you have lots of goods, right? People can get in and get out from the front end, but they might steal something, right? So you need, or they might break in when you're not there or cause trouble. So what do you need? You need a security guard, right? You need a security guard so that he can or she can take care of those kind of unwanted things. Right. So security guard will check every visitor. Might need to go through that pim pim pum pum. Right. Surveillance camera will be there. The entry would be restricted for along with uh, like if you're carrying a bag or if you're carrying something, the entry would be restricted. That we see all the time. Right. Why we are doing that in a physical shop? Because we want to protect our shop. We want to protect our shop. That's why we are doing it. Similarly, if we are hosting application, as you can see here, it's the same architecture that we've been working upon. We have, this is application gateway, app gateway, and this is backend. This is pool 1 and another one is pool 2. Well, this time we need not to go through the pool information much, but these pools are doing what? They are hosting applications. So these applications are our store, right? The same narration that I did for a physical shop or a marketplace. So this application is our shop, and people are getting in. Or what is people here? Here, people are the user request. Users sitting all over the world, and all users are not that, you know, good customers. Some wants to create havoc, right? So user requests are coming from the front. This is the front end, right? And this will go access the application. Like a customer is trying here to shop in the shopping place, mall or marketplace, right? So in a physical shop, we have guard, surveillance, restriction. A lot of things are there. We already know. We all been through those marketplaces, right? So here what we need something like that, because as of now you see the request is coming. Here is the application. They are browsing the application. There is nothing, no security in place as of now on layer 7, because request is going on layer 7. Hence we need something to protect our layer 7, that is WAF, web application firewall, that we enable on the app gateway when we choose that SKU where the WAF is there. So all the requests which is getting in now, WAF is sitting here like a guard, like a surveillance camera, like a restrictive entry. Okay, this checks every incoming request, and if request is okay, if request is good, okay, not malicious, then it will let the request go. If the request is malicious, it will simply drop it or deny it. So WAF will do that functionality for you, because for networking or network layer we have other firewalls. All those firewalls are network firewalls, but here we are not exposing our network. It's just like layer 7 web application access, and we have to on 443 or HTTPS so that people can access our application, right? Internally, all the traffic would be managed and taken care by firewalls like network firewalls. But this is web application firewall. Think of it as an intelligent firewall that specializes in web application, protecting web application, right? Now, from whom they are protecting the web application? From common cyber attacks, from the cyber attacks. Because all users are not good users, some are bad ones too. Hackers or bad users or malicious or could be anything, right? There is some competition going on between two and somebody hired someone to have a little fun with the competitor. Anyways, uh, let's try to understand what all, just a brief idea, what all can be done if WAF is not there. Well, people can steal data. Okay, people can take control when somebody compromise the user accounts and stealing data is through SQL injection. They can overload the traffic like DDoS attacks, right? Or they can throw the automated bots and can hamper your sale or anything which is going on at that particular point in time or exploit the vulnerabilities. So there's so many things going on that we are not aware as a common consumer or user, because this is the work of the experts who take care of this security piece, the architecture, so that we can access our application whenever we want. If there is any sale going on, we would like to browse the website, buy something, right? It's not like somebody just broke the website or steal all the tickets and things like that. So let's go through one by one and see some key features of Azure WAF. So what are the key features? Let's try to understand this. The very first is, let's start from here. The very first is it protects against web attacks. Till now, we were just trying to understand what it is. Now we are starting going through some key features of WAF. So it protect against web attacks, or we can say threat protection. Now try to understand what are these threat protections, because this WAF have OWASP that we talked about in our previous video. All those top 10 and other inbuilt there. No need to do anything else. It's there already to block such threats. The most common are SQL injection, hackers inserting malicious database commands. Okay, cross-site scripting, where hackers injecting malicious scripts into web pages, or remote command execution, attackers are running dangerous commands on servers. So all these things are threat, right? And WAF provide the protection against those kind of threats. Then bots usually is kind of automate attack where the hacker or the attacker is scraping your website's data, buying products unfairly. Okay, as I said, like at 10 a.m. there you are going to release the ticket and the bot will buy all of it. And maybe launching brute force attacks, guessing passwords, all those can be done through the automated bots, right? But Azure WAF can identify bots and block them, ensuring fair access of real customers. So can protect us from bad bots. Then it can also protect us from suspicious request. What a suspicious request? These are like anomalies. Okay, so some request might be incomplete or malformed, signaling an attack. Because WAF can understand, it has that capabilities. So WAF checks every request, all the requests which are getting in. WAF checks all the requests and make sure it follows web standards. Okay, and isn't trying to exploit the vulnerabilities. So by request, the kind of request it is, it can simply see if it is following the web standards or not, and block it or let it pass. For example, a hacker sends a HTTP request. This is HTTP request without a proper header. Okay, this request doesn't match the normal browsing behavior, and WAF detects this here. WAF detects this and blocks it immediately. And WAF also works in prevention and detection mode. We usually recommend to run it for some time on detection mode so that you can have the correct data and then apply the prevention. All right, in your UAT before production, of course. And whenever the such request, like without header, it will detect and drop it. All right, another one is like custom rules and executions. Yes, it allows the custom rules. Custom rules and exe exclusions, not execution, exclusions. Okay, now what are these? Well, not all websites are same, so security needs customization, right? Admins can create rules based on the specific threats and business needs. You can apply the IP addresses that you are aware of that can be blocked, right? The geo filtering and other stuff. We'll see that it is there in the features one by one. So we can, let's try to understand this. Maybe there is a shopping website where customers try to enter product codes. Some product codes may look like a script, right? Normally, WAF blocks a script like text to prevent the hacking because it is already has those inbuilt rules. But in this case, it's a valid input. Now the challenge is we want that kind of input, and WAF says it seems something odd here. So the admin creates an exclusion rule to allow product codes while keeping the site secure. So yes, you can do the customization. It's not like you're stuck with the WAF. Then you can block or allow visitors based on their country. This is what I was saying. Geo filtering. Okay. Maybe you have a regional websites, but that is also accessible from anywhere in the world, right? But you don't want some of the IPs to visit you, some of the region to visit you, right? Maybe like if you're running a banking website, only serves customer from India and UAE, and hackers from Russia or China might try to attack. So what we can do, we can simply block traffic from unauthorized regions through geofiltering feature of WAF. Then we are doing a lot of things here, right? A lot of rules, a lot of things are done by WAF, by inbuilt features, a lot of things. And we have no idea what is going on because we should have proper logging and monitoring. So we can have those monitors and logs in place, real-time monitoring and alerting. So Azure Web provides real-time logs and alerts through Azure Monitor, Defender for Cloud, or SIEM solution like Sentinel. So if maybe you would like to monitor the failed login attempts on your website, if multiple failed logins come from the same IP addresses, WAF detects, maybe call it a brute force attack, and blocks the IP automatically. It also helps you prevent the hidden attacks. Ooh, we are calling it hidden attack like other attacks were not hidden, they were in open. I'm not doing this, this is what they call it. It is like inspecting JSON or XML requests. Those are the hidden attacks. It seems okay, but something is hidden in the request. Like some hackers try to hide malicious code inside JSON or XML data. Azure Web is smart enough to inspect these data formats to detect hidden threats. Yes. How Azure WAF has those capabilities. For example, if you have a delivery app stores maybe addressing in JSON format, a hacker inserts a malicious JavaScript payload inside the JSON request, and WAF detects and removes the malicious script before it reaches the application. Right, so all these things are provided by WAF, or rather Azure WAF. This is Azure, right? Now let's see how exactly it works. Just to for new audience, people who are learning first time or new with the Azure. So a user right here sitting, maybe not hacker, not bad user, could be a general user trying to access or request a web page. Here the application is running here. There are multiple VMs maybe on the app server, anywhere. On the backend pool, the application is running. This guy tried to access the web page. Now request will go via WAF because we have enabled the WAF. Now, if the request is safe, it will forward it to the web application. If request is not safe, it will drop it. It's that simple. Now, WAF can be applied in three ways: global policy, site specific policy, or path based policies. Now, let's see these one by one. So, global policy. As the name says, it protects all application behind the WAF, like a single WAF for all the multiple applications. Like right now, there are two applications running, one in pool 2, one in pool 1. We can have multiple pools of VM, VMSs, app services, or maybe external or on-prem, right? So all those rules applicable for all the applications, but we may, as we were saying in one of the features, some of the rules are as per the applications requirement, right? So global for all, and we have site specific policy. It protects the individual websites differently, and accordingly we apply the rules. Then we have path based policy, protect specific section of the website. Now if you are with the customers and you need to talk about the WAF, we need to keep it simple and focus on business impact. Well, I have to involve customer in all our uh, learning videos because that's the part of my job. We interact with the customer all the time. So if customer's concern is like my website is slow and vulnerable to attacks, well, the response should be like Azure WAF protects your site from cyber threats while keeping it fast and reliable. Are you using any WAF? Or if customer says, I don't understand technical security terms, well, think of WAF like a security guard that we explained at the beginning of the video. Because we meet those customers, they are not technical, they don't know what to do. They know simply run the website on Azure and everything is taken care of because it is cloud. No, it's not exactly like that. We need to explain it to the customer. It's a shared responsibility. Your running website on cloud does not make it secure by itself. You need to apply a WAF, right? Then you can give that same analogy that we started this video with. And if somebody says, do I really need WAF? Well, you know the answer. It's quite obvious. Yes, without WAF, your website could be hacked and customer data can be stolen, service disrupted by bots or DDoS attacks. If you are running any kind of compliance, it will hit you. Your brand name will be compromised. Your reputation will be compromised. And you never know after the hack or this any of such bad activity whether you can come back to the business or not. So it's really really important. Even if it's a trade-off, it has a huge weight. So Azure WAF helps us prevent cyber attacks, improves performance because it filters malicious traffic, allowing real users only, right? And in case of DDoS, There you go. So provides real-time monitoring as well because of logs and alerts, and we can customize our rules as per the requirement. And it integrated with Azure services like App Gateway, Front Door, CDN, and the services like Sentinel, so that you can have those logs captured. Right. So if we have to just define at the end, after learning all those things, if we have to define what is Azure WAF, so you can define it simply because now you know the conceptual part of it. So Azure WAF is a service or a security feature that can be enabled on the application gateway or front door, designed to protect your web applications from common exploits and vulnerabilities. It's a firewall. It operates as an application delivery delivery controller, offering features such as TLS termination, session affinity, load balancing, and content-based routing. So by integrating WAF, it enhances application security, actively defending against known threats and providing centralized, easy to configure platform. Key benefits of Azure WAF. We should understand that now. So the very first is what it is doing right here. It's doing protection. It's doing protection. So WAF or Azure WAF safeguard multiple web applications simultaneously without modifying backend code, right? So all they are multiple applications are running, but the attacks kind of same more or less. So you need not to do changes in the code, but this WAF can take care of that piece. So Azure WAF can host up to 40 websites, each protected by tailored WAF policies. It also defends against malicious bots using the IP reputation rule set and offers protection against DDoS attacks. All right, so uh, monitoring is another benefit because it utilizes real-time WAF logs. Okay, protection. Then here we also have monitoring. Now we are exploring the WAF, the same thing from different aspect. First we understood the WAF itself, then we added the Azure part of it. Now we're trying to find some different benefits from all the conceptual part of it, right? So WAF utilize real-time logs integrated with Azure Monitor to track alerts and monitor trends effectively. So integration with Defender for cloud providers, a centralized view of your security posture across Azure hybrid and multi-cloud environment can be done, right? And customization is the another benefit. It's not like one time. We can adopt WAF rules and rule groups to meet specific application requirements, reducing false positives, assign distinct WAF policies to individual sites or even specific URL paths, allowing granular control over security settings. Yeah. All right, then. So we have covered almost all the features, some key benefits at the end, just to refresh everything. Now I'm just going through what else we can talk about here. Okay, I think we are good. We have covered almost everything. But we can add this piece. Okay, so Azure WAF operates based on policies. Yeah, policies containing managed rule set and custom rule set. So what is there in the WAF? We have policies, right? Policies like whether to allow or block. So these policies could be managed rule set or custom rule set. These policies can be associated at different scopes. These are the like global across application gateway, or it can, these rules can be because it has multiple components. If you remember, we had in the application gateway, the very first is the listener, right? So we can attach it to the listener. Now listener listens at a particular port, IP, host, right? So it means per listener for individual site we can apply the WAF, or per path routing. So this is what it is: per path, per site, per global specific. This hierarchical policy structure ensures like global to all, site, site specific, path, path specific, right? And it could be hierarchical, right? So up to down. Okay. So this hierarchical policy structure ensures that security configurations are appropriately applied, with more specific policies overriding broader ones as needed, of course. So let's conclude this uh, video, web application firewall of ours. So WAF, Azure WAF on App Gateway offers a comprehensive, customizable, and integrated solution to protect your web applications from a wide array of threats. By leveraging its robust features and flexible policy management, you can enhance your application security posture, ensuring resilience against evolving cyber threats. Well, thank you for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day. Bye bye.